Hey guys, I'm Aaron, and today I want to show you how to make a curved staircase using the extension TrueBend. So this ended up being kind of a cool situation because someone on my team, Justin, recommended, showing how to create a straight staircase and then make a bending, have it bend. So I tried it and it worked exactly how I thought, and it made me think, how could I push this and go a little bit further? So I want to do a quick regular staircase. We're going to put like a 180-degree bend on it, something like that. You see how that works. And I want to show you where that took my thoughts and how I started pushing that beyond that. So let's hop in. If you don't already have it, TrueBend is an extension. It is available on Extension Warehouse. It is from Tom, who is a wonderful SketchUp developer and just all around nice guy. So what I want to do here with this is I want to start with just a flat staircase, like a straight staircase you'd normally see. And I'm going to do that by, I'm going to come over here to the origin. I'm going to make my step height. So I'm going to say, I don't know, like 8 inches. My tread height, we'll say something like 11. And then, so that's going to represent a step. Again, code, whatever you got going on that's going to mandate that. Make sure you follow that, not what I said. I'm going to come down 1 inch. I'm going to go back 1 inch just to give myself a little nose on the step right there. And then I'm going to take this geometry. Nothing's grouped or anything like that. I'm just making a slab at this point. I'm going to grab this option to move it up to here. I'm going to say something like 12x. Whoops, I just hit the wrong button. Control Z. All right, let's try that one more time. Grab this. We're going to move it from here to here. Type 12x and hit enter. There we go. Now I have 13 stairs like that. What I want to do now is I want to bring some geometry in the bottom like this, but I want to go a little bit deeper. So I'm going to come over like this, and then I'm going to inference this line right here and pull that out. Come on. So, I got a midpoint. Let's get on the end point. There we go. Now I can inference that out like that, draw a line down, and there we go. All right, now I'll just zip down here and erase these extra pieces. I could use an extension like cleanup to merge faces, but in the time it would take me to remember where that is in my menu, I'm done. All right, now I'm going to grab this. I'm going to make it like, I don't know, 3 feet wide. Let's go a little bit. We're going curved. Let's get majestical. Majestical? I want some majesty in it. Does that make it majestical? All right, so there we go. So that is the basic geometry. I'm going to take that now and I want to curve it like 180 degrees. So it starts here and you curve around. By the time you're up, you're facing the opposite direction. What I want to do is, before I group this, I do want to group it, but first, before I group it, I'm going to turn it. This is very important to how TrueBend works. So we're going to turn it like that. It doesn't have to be on the origin. No, let's get that off there. What's very important is when we go in and use TrueBend, I'm going to end up curving it along an arc. This is for illustrated purposes only. You don't have to draw an arc to do this, but I'm going to curve this along an arc. That arc that I curve along is always going to be oriented like this against the red axis. So I'm turning this before I create it into a group so that it will inherit the world axis, which is red right here. So I'm just going to triple click. I'm going to make it a group, and then I'm going to hit TrueBend. Look. All right, let's spend 2 seconds celebrating the fact that this is a super powerful, useful extension that has a single button. Love Simple UI. Let's hit that button. I get my little handle to bend. I'm going to pull it out. I can not arbitrarily, I can kind of watch my angle down the lower right corner and slowly pull out like the amount I think I want, or I can just start to pull the direction I want to go, and then I can type in 180 and hit enter. That'll give me 180. It gives me a preview beforehand, and when I hit enter, it's going to bend the geometry. So there we go. That is how simple that is to do. If I come in and look at what that did to my geometry. So remember, from here to here was about 11. So right now, it straight across is 10 and 15 sixteenths. You can see here, it did break that a little bit. These are not arcs. It did not automatically weld this stuff. So if I was to grab these two edges, right click, and weld, that turns it from an edge into a curve. And if I look at the end info for that curve, it is right about 11 inches. So I'm within a rounding error. Oh, actually, you know what? Look at this. I got another little break right here. If I grab that too, weld that up, we're right about 11 inches. Look at that. So because I bent it towards the red axis the way it was sitting, I ended up with my short side of my stair here and my longer side on the outside. So this side's bigger, which is kind of what I would expect to have happen. Vertically, this up to here should still be exactly 8 inches. Yep. This should be exactly 1 inch. Yep. And this coming back here should be pretty close to 1 inch. Might be a little bit fudged because of the stretch, but not much. So you can see if you did want to come in and make a curved stair with this, you have fairly good control on that sort of geometry. I could have taken this further. I could put a handrail on it straight up, much easier than coming and putting it on curved. But the thing to remember is that it is going to deform. So I'm going to undo real quick. Oops. Undo, 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 undo. So if I was to put like a round post right here going up to a handrail, after I bend it, that circle is going to become oblong, right? So it's going to become a stretched circle because anything on this side got stretched out. This side stayed uniform. So you could do it, but you'd end up having to definitely play with some geometry, figure out what the aspect ratio of change is between this side and this side, account for that. In a lot of cases, it might be easier to just grab a component and go, stamp, 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 stamp all the way up, and then just do a follow me handrail. So that is one of the things I was thinking about as I did this. And this made me think about some other things. So for one thing, let's undo again. I'm going to grab it. I'm going to run TrueBend and say, what happens if I pull this all the way out, 360 degrees and hit enter? Well, I end up with this, which is, probably what I should expect. It goes all the way around, maintains my stair tread length on this side, gets much bigger on the outside. That's right. This is not really a spiral staircase. This is another curved staircase, but it does go all the way around. So this made me start thinking about spiral staircases though. Could I use TrueBend to make a spiral staircase? So what I did was I drew this. What this is a rectangle that is 1 foot wide and then 8'8", actually inference the top of this. So if I go vertically, I'm inferencing right to here, which is 8'8", which is, 13 8-inch steps. So I came in here and on this, like I said, this is just a rectangle. I divided this rectangle so I can grab this edge. Actually, I didn't divide it that way. I divided it this way. I divided this by the 13 steps. And then I knew how big one step would be. I played with this a little bit, ended up making my steps 1.5 inches by 1 inch. And then I carried them out, I think 3 foot is what I said. So that's all it was. I put a rectangle on here, 1.5 inches by 1 inch, pulled it out 13. Then I grabbed, let me just do this for you real quick. This was super easy. I'm gonna get rid of all this. And I'm gonna get rid of all this, just to show you how easy this was. Oh man, now I gotta clean up little geometries. Oh, there we go. I just nuked the whole face. That's one way to do it. Let's close that back up. So all I did then was I grabbed this stair. I'm air quoting the word stair because right now obviously it's not much of a stair. I'm going to move it from this point, option because I'm moving a copy of it, not the whole thing. Oops, I grabbed too much. I grabbed some geometry on the bottom. Let's try that again. And then we'll deselect anything else. All right, there we go. So I'm going to grab it by the top of the tread. I know, it's not... It's a 1x2. What am I talking about? I'm going to take it all the way up to this opposite corner, and I'm going to say divide that by 12. That's going to give me a bunch of these stick steps. Kind of looks like a ladder. Now, I grouped it again. This time I grouped it so that this line right here was parallel to red. Now, if I grab it, I use TrueBend, and I pull this out from here to here, 360 degrees, and hit enter. Look what that gave me. Now, this is not perfect, but if I needed a quick and easy way to do this, like throw that in, that was pretty simple. right? Now, it did some weird stuff. So one thing, I can only go 360 degrees. So if I have a spiral stair that goes around like 1.25 times or 1.5 times, something like that, I would have to do this, cut it in half maybe and do 2 separate sections. I don't know. Or I could always take this, shove it back up, and then cut off the pieces that I don't need. You know, I can make a copy of this right down here. So you grab it there, option. I could copy it straight up onto itself, and then I could cut that off wherever it needs to be. So if it stops turning right here, I could just get rid of these steps and then push that back down. So something like that could happen fairly easy, but I kept playing with this, right? So one thing is these outside steps are huge, right? This is like several feet. This is big. And you know what? You could probably get something built like this, get a metal piece there. It's going to hold it up, that sort of thing. But they're kind of big. Like most staircases, there is a flare, obviously, from the inside to the outside of step, but this is a lot. So what would I do with that? I'm going to undo a couple times, undo all the stuff I just did. And we'll go back to this step. And what I could do is I could do something like this. I'm going to grab this, divide that by 3, and then I'm going to go from here back to here, here, out to here, and then we'll just push, pull to drop that down, drop that down. So you can see now my step tapers, right? So when it stretches it, it's going to still stretch this face, but this face is going to be 1/3 the size of what it was before. So let's go ahead and grab this. Oh, that was some beautiful grabbing. And then I'll take that and I will stick that right up there. Again, divide it by 12. There's all my steps. Let's exit the group and then I'll grab it. Sorry, I was a little wobbly turn there. Bring it around 180 degrees, enter. All right, that got a little awkward. I'll admit that. I got this rose petal look. I'm not really sure. Maybe I had a break in there somewhere, but I got some real wonky stuff happening when it deformed. Again, I'm just playing at this point, trying to figure out how I could do this. What might work better is if I did just half of that. So maybe we'll get rid of this. We'll leave the leading edge straight and then just cut down the backside a little bit like that. And then see how that goes if I grab that and option copy that up to the peak, divide by 12. All right, let's swing back around, grab it, follow me, bend it, man. That's what we're here about. Enter. All right, so that came out much better. Still have some oddness, some oddities here. Some stuff got weird. I don't know. At this point, I'm playing, but you guys get the idea of what I could do with this. So I went a little bit further than this. I was talking about how that handrail, I could put a handrail in here, but it was going to get, you know, wonky because it was going to stretch. At this point, I'm not doing a whole lot of precision here. I'm just trying to get a spiral staircase. So I came up with this shape. What I did here, and I'm not going to redraw this because this was actually kind of a time-consuming and not awesome way to draw things, but at the end of each step, I put a teeny, it was like a 1/16 of an inch by 1 inch rectangle, pulled it up, I don't know, 30, 32 inches, and then I connected the top of them with a single edge, which also got, I think, a 1/16 of an inch, or an 1/8 inch, excuse me, and then pull that up. So I have this super, super thin piece connecting it all together. Like if this was real, you could snap this with your finger pretty easy. But I grouped it all together. So you can see each of those on the very edge there. If I take that, follow me, let's pull it around 360 degrees and enter. And look what that created. So I did do just a single piece at each step right on the edge, but you can see what happened. So it stretched it out. So it went from a 1/16 of an inch to just over an inch, I think, 1.25 inches. And then this piece, which was just, like I said, razor thin, just this tiny little 1/8 inch piece went up. It turned into a decent sized handrail. So you could play with this too. You could play with that profile. So if the handrail was supposed to be wider than the pieces below, I could figure out, again, the exact aspect ratio change between this arc and actually draw this so it ends up as about 1 inch by 1 inch. Now, I say about because remember, everything on the outside is getting bent and stretched. So no matter what I do, this will never be a perfect rectangle because this side, the side that's closer to the middle of it, is always going to be a teeny bit smaller than what the outside end ended up as. But like I said, as just a quick proof of concept, as something you can do with TrueBend for my, I don't know, 5-6 minutes of quick modeling and a bend versus drawing a tube up, grabbing one step, rotating it, moving it up, and then doing something like copy, move, or do copy memory or a different extension like that to try to get these to happen. This was pretty quick and pretty easy. And like I said, not something I had considered before, but a pretty cool way to draw a quick spiral staircase. I know. I rambled there. I poked around. I showed existing models. It wasn't as straightforward. Here's how to use an extension model or video. It wasn't a here's exactly how to model this video. It ended up being more exploration. So trying some different stuff. It's 2026. It's a new year. Let's try something new. Let me know what you think of this. Every time I go into SketchUp, I end up pushing things a little bit, trying some different stuff. Every once in a while I'll run into something like, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I'll give it a try. We see a lot of that on the live streams. If you don't come to our live streams, swing by sometime, Friday at noon Mountain Time on our YouTube channel. But also let me know what you think of this in the comments. Click like, let us know you liked it. Click subscribe so you get notified next time a video comes out. And most importantly, leave a comment. If this kind of video is fun for you to watch, if you're interested in this and in exploring this, if this like little light bulb spark thing happened for you, let me know about that too, because that's pretty awesome. Hopefully that did happen for someone. And if you have some ideas that you think would make good videos like this, is there a process that you found that's a little off the beaten path, or you've always been wondered if you could use a tool in a certain different way? Let me know about that. We like making these videos a lot, but our comments make sure we're making videos that you want to see. Thank you.